Okay, so this is our animal dissection of a rabbit. This is our 1407 Biology for Science Majors 2 class with Professor Scher. Our team members are AlikBrisby,
Shardae Sneed, Emily Corville.
Okay, so this is our dissection of a rabbit. The first systems we're going to discuss and show on this recording is going to be the integumentary system. So first off is going to be the hair of the rabbit. So we did cut off some here as shown. The hair of a rabbit is just used for warmth, an external barrier between the epidermis and the organs, as well as some species of rabbits use it to camouflage, some adaptations as well.
Alright, so the skin layer, the skin is, like in most mammals, is the largest organ of the body. It provides a protective layer against the environment, regulates temperature, and then the epidermis is the external layer, and it also provides a protective layer for all the internal organs.
Okay, so in the first clip we did discuss the integumentary system as well as some of the adaptations that are involved in this body system. I did want to touch on this a little bit more clearly and concisely as there was some background noise from other groups doing their videos. So in the second clip, while Emily cuts through the hair and epidermis layer of the rabbit, I did want to discuss this. So the integumentary system does involve the skin and the hair of a rabbit. Both of these are incredibly crucial in maintaining the body temperature and body temperature regulation in mammals. So especially the hair, it does have internal insulation and a cooling element to it. So no matter the season or the high or low temperature of the environment the rabbit is living in, it can regulate its body temperature as well as the temperature of its internal organs need to be to maintain homeostasis. So the skin is also an external layer that protects the internal organs along with being a body temperature regulation mechanism. So this is going to be the respiratory system. We have the diaphragm, which is going to be the thin muscle that controls breathing in mammals. And then right next to it is going to be the rib cage, which is part of the skeletal system. This protects the lungs and the heart in mammals. And then right underneath it, which is shown here, is going to be the lungs. And then we have the trachea right over here. And then to touch more on the lungs.
So the lungs is where the diffusion of carbon dioxide and oxygen happens, and then all of this exchange happens through the capillaries, and all the gas exchange actually happens in the alveoli.
Okay, so this is the circulatory system of a rabbit. So the circulatory system does consist of the heart along with those chambers. So we did cut it out of the rabbit and cut it open to show you all the different arteries and ventricles that are inside, along with the different blood vessels and veins that are going to be dyed blue and red in there. So the heart is actually, in the clip before this, we did discuss the respiratory system. So the heart is located underneath the lungs. So you can see where the lungs are located underneath the rib cage and the diaphragm. So then underneath all of those is where the heart's located. So the heart does definitely help the muscular structure of mammals, including it being able to pump blood as well as oxygen to its different limbs and appendages more effectively.
Okay, so now we're going to start on the digestive system, and we're going to start out with the mouth. So these are the incisors, and back here are your molars. They do not have canines because they don't have to rip out flesh to eat because they're ovivores. And what this means is that these incisors and molars are what helps them chew gravely. And then down here is the esophagus, the second tube right here, and that helps them swallow the food.
Alright, from this esophagus we're going to go down through, we're going to make a pit stop at the liver. This liver is going to filter out toxins throughout the body and generally help extracting nutrients from waste. Alright. Alrighty, so this is going to be our stomach. Basically just a bag of acid. It's going to churn up food, make it into a usable product for the churn up and break down food, make it into a usable product. And then these are going to be the small intestine. The inside of these things is going to be covered in a ciliated wall that's going to help extract the nutrients from the food. From there, it then moves in to our large intestine. And our large intestine is going to extract water and dehydrate the matter, and then it goes right out the other end. Alrighty, so this darker, squishier part is going to be the gallbladder. This one is going to help to digest, it's going to make some bile and help break down that food.
It's on the back side of the liver.
On the very bottom.
Oh yeah, on the very bottom, on the back side of the liver, still being the digestive system.
Okay, so this right here is the cecum, and it's the part of the digestive system. It helps digest food along with the stomach. It's larger in herbivores than other mammals, and the digestive system is an important adaptation because it has specialized organs like the large intestines, small intestines, the cecum, and the stomach that help absorb the nutrients more efficiently.
Alright, so we're still covering the digestive system. So right now, this is a clip of our group member, Emily. She's going to be extending the small intestine to show you all the expanse and the size of the small intestine. And then in the next clip, she'll be cutting open the stomach while I discuss a little bit more of the adaptationary properties of the cecum. Okay, so in this clip, Emily is actually cutting open the stomach, but I did want to discuss the cecum a little bit further and its grave importance in rabbit digestion. So rabbits do consume a lot of cellulose as they are herbivores and consume a lot of plants, except mammals are not able to break down cellulose, and so that's why it has that adaptation of having a cecum as one of its organs. So the cecum does release microbiomes into the rabbit that allows it to digest cellulose more efficiently. So rabbits do consume their own waste as they need to digest it multiple times, but with the cecum, it does allow it to break through that cellulose and absorb as much nutrients as possible.
So this is going to be the beginning of the excretory system. These are going to be our kidneys. They are going to filter out toxins and waste matter from the blood. The product of these kidneys is going to be urea. Urea comes down these ureters and into this bladder, where it combines with excess fluid, and from this fluid it goes down through this urethra and out the other end.
So we're starting the reproductive system of a rabbit, and this is a female rabbit, and it has female gonads. As you can see, it has the ovaries, the fallopian tubes, and then the uterus. So the ovaries is where the eggs are held, and then it travels through the fallopian tubes to get to the uterus where the baby is made.
Can we get one show of the uterus real quick? So this is going to be the uterus. The fallopian tubes are on the sides, and then just one more good look at the ovary.
Alright.
So this is going to be our pancreas. It's going to secrete some insulin and other good hormones, just keep those systems running.
Regulating blood sugar, and it is the green matter in there right there. Okay, so now we're on to the nervous system. So the nervous system does consist of the brain and the sensory organs. So here we're showing you the sensory organs. These consist of the ears that allow for hearing, the eyes that allow for seeing, as well as the nose that allow for smell. These allow the animal to find food more efficiently, as well as avoid predation better. Okay, so this is going to be our nervous system. So the nervous system consists of the sensory organs that we just talked about, being the eyes, ears, etc. And then the brain is also going to be the other part of that nervous system. So we will be cutting open the skull of the rabbit and showing you the brain inside of its cavity in the skull. But I am going to do a breakdown of the different parts of the brain and their different adaptations and what they are important to the rabbit for. Okay, so we have this cream color right here, which is going to be our medulla oblongata. It is part of the brainstem and has automatic functions that like digestion, breathing, heart rate, as well as blood vessel activity. So that's what this part of the brain, the medulla oblongata, is going to be responsible for in the rabbit. Right, and so then we have our peach color right here. This is going to be the cerebellum. It's going to be for coordination, balance, as well as motor skills. These are very essential in avoiding predation in the rabbits and stuff like that. Okay, so then we have the blue that's going to be right here. This is going to be the midbrain. It's going to be inside right next to the cerebellum. So this is going to be the midbrain or the optic lobes. This is essential for the optic lobes, which enable sight. So it's going to be right here, the midbrain. You can see on the side right there. It's going to be in front of our medulla oblongata. Alright, so we have the darker yellow color, which is going to be our diencephalon, or the forebrain part. So this is going to help control adaptations related to the animal knowing what's going on in its body, like hunger, body temperature, thirst, as well as its biological clocks. And so then the lighter yellow right here, the main part of the brain is going to be the cerebellum. This is the forebrain part. It's super essential in skeletal muscle contractions as well as voluntary movements, along with learning and perception. So this is going to, our cerebellum is going to be the main thought pattern, allowing animals to think, as well as most mammals, as well as humans. Alright, so the anterior part of this yellow cerebellum is actually known for its olfactory bulbs, the smells, which are going to be up here, that help smell, along with how our midbrain, the optic lobes, help sight. So they all have very different functions and are super essential in adaptations to allow rabbits to survive better. Alright, so this is going to be our circulatory system continued. So we did just get the bone saw and sawed 4 parts, or like cross sections, into the skull. And so this is going to be a look inside the skull and at the brain. So right now it does kind of look like just some mushed up ganglia-like matter, but it is the brain right there, the brain structure. I did go over the brain a little bit more thoroughly, as what is shown in here is just made larger on the model right here.